Size really does matter, at least that's how the old saying goes. Now, before you click off this video because your head is in the gutter, just pump the brakes for a little bit. Let me explain just for a second. We're talking about trucks here. It's kind of what we do. And while sure, in some cases, bigger, maybe better, like in, the example of a dually or something, this isn't always the case. There are, in fact, instances where a smaller truck may actually be a better option for you, and believe me when I say that bigger is not always better. I'm Dustin with the Custom Offsets. You guys can follow me on Instagram at dusty.co, and of course, today we're gonna be diving into the awesome world of smaller trucks to talk about how you may want a mid-sized truck. Let's get it. Now, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this home-cooked meal, it's important that we cover our bases here and outline exactly what we define as a mid-sized truck. For the purpose of today's video, right, we're gonna be defining mid-sized trucks as those that are just
a little bit smaller than a half-ton.
Gee whiz, thanks, genius.
Well, okay, wait, hold on just a second here. I know what you're thinking, but let me explain. We're talking about things like Chevy S10s and Colorados, GMC Canyons, Toyota Tacomas, Nissan Frontiers, and of course, who could forget the one and only Ford f***ing Ranger.
Truck, I ain't no stranger. I know that truck. That's a Ford f***ing Ranger.
The truck that took TikTok by storm, and now every time I see one, I do the little jingle in my head. I know that truck, I'm no sure. You know it, I know it, we all know it. Speaking of TikTok, this is a good reminder that not only should you subscribe to our YouTube channel, but if you're on TikTok like I am, and you like to waste hours just scrolling and seeing funny stuff, subscribe to us there too. There's lots of good stuff being posted over there that you're not going to want to miss. Let me break it down for you just for a moment, right? Historically, over the years, trucks have been classified by their rating from the factory. 3/4 ton, 1 ton, F550 if you're like, This was started way back when pickup trucks were first being produced, which was just a few years after they replaced the horse and buggy as my favorite way to get to the Packer game on Sunday. Trucks back then would be rated for approximately 1,000 total pounds of payload capacity, which, if you know anything about math, is half of a ton. Now, this naming strategy would hold true even till today, where most of the 1500s and F-150s and that sort of thing are still called half-ton trucks, even though most of them can carry quite a bit more than 1,000 pounds in the bed. One of the first truck manufacturers to step into the mid-size pickup truck game here was the one and only Ford Motor Company way back in 1961. That was just a few short years before I was born. Well, sure, they had the Falcon Ranchero a few years earlier, they also made the Econoline pickup truck. This neat, vintage-looking van conversion thingamajob figured a cab-over engine design, which is completely bitchin' and awesome. It had a very small wheelbase of just 91 total inches, which is as small as a Toyota Corolla, and it somehow managed to feature an extremely impressive 7 feet of bed space. For reference here, that's more than a new Super Duty. Over the next 20 years, Ford would continue to introduce and test the mid-sized truck market with things like the original Bronco, which featured a tiny little bed in the back of the cab, just big enough to put 2 fishing poles and a cooler full of Busch lattes in, or the Mazda-partnered Ford Courier, but it wasn't until the 1980s that Ford really made this market take off. While the 80s introduced a lot of neat things like bag telephones and hair metal, which is one of my favorite genres of music, by the way, but perhaps the best gift the 1980s gave us was the one and only Ford freaking Ranger. Oh, the iconic truck. This would be the first of Ford's mid-sized truck builds, which was built in-house by the one and only Ford Motor Company and featured a 2.0-liter gasoline engine that made, get this, 72 horsepower in the base model. 72 horsepower? My lawnmower makes more power than that. What is this? What am I supposed to do with that? Like, How can I even get up to highway speed with those kind of numbers? The 80s was a wild time. I don't understand it. But it wasn't only Ford that saw opportunities in these bite-sized trucks. Over the years, we've seen mid-sized pickups from pretty much every brand on the market. From the Ford Ranger, to the Chevy S10, to now the Colorado, the GMC Canyon. Mazda had their B-Series pickups, which was basically just a rebadged Ford Ranger. Nissan had a few different smaller pickups over the years, including the D-Series, which was a hard body and a 5-speed, and they're really wicked. You could whip them around. It's awesome. Hell, even Honda tried to play in this market with the Ridgeline, if you want to call that a truck. But with all the competition here, it leaves a guy to wonder, why? Why do guys want to get into this market?
Why?
Let's take a quick little trip, shall we? A magic school bus style. No, we're not going to be shrinking everybody down and flying into somebody's nostril here, but let's take a quick virtual hop across the big pond and take a look at some of the countries in Europe. See, places like France, Germany, Italy, and more, the roads there are not quite as wide as they are here in the good old US of A.
Have decided to send me to USA, greatest country in the world.
Let's go! Because of this, the demand for vehicles has actually shifted to much smaller vehicles, with compact cars and trucks really gaining popularity. This creates a unique situation where if you're a homeowner, for example, you may still want to be able to pick up some potting soil at the local home improvement store, but you don't want to throw it in the trunk of your car because, well, if you've ever done this before, you know how difficult it is to get dirt out of the carpet. Understanding this, it becomes pretty simple to know why guys would want a mid-sized truck here. These smaller pickups offer a lot of the same conveniences that a full-size truck is going to, without the struggle of trying to find a parking spot at every home game. This became especially apparent to me when I was in California this year. See, we spent a couple days in downtown LA, we visited cool places like Banks Power, but let me tell you, there was not a full-size truck to be seen. Everywhere you looked, it was Rangers, Tacomas, and Frontiers, mostly because trying to get a full-size F-150 down there would be a literal nightmare. Plus, if you're into trail riding out in the desert or through the woods in the Pacific Northwest, for example, a mid-sized truck is gonna be smaller, it's narrower. Overall, it's just gonna maneuver a little bit easier than a full-size counterpart. Mike from Last Line of Defense is actually a really great example of this, as he has both a mid-size and a full-size truck, and the differences on trail is astounding. He's actually got a whole bunch of videos about both vehicles and how they compare together. Regardless of the past, though, one thing is for sure, mid-sized trucks are here to stay. They're just not going away. There's a ton of aftermarket support for them in terms of wheels and tires and lift kits and more. Plus, there's whole communities dedicated to these things. Take the Tacoma guys, for example. They're like a whole offshoot of the truck scene, and it's completely wild. They're either building their trucks on 17x9s with roof racks and all sorts of lights, or they're squatting them and putting them on 2414s. Versatile, I guess. But enough out of me. What do you guys think? Would you own a mid-sized truck? Do you own a mid-sized truck? Sound off in the comments below, and as always, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. With that, I'm Dustin with Custom Offsets. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.